The Cold War era was a time steeped in tension, suspicion, and the relentless pursuit of ideological dominance, with the newly declassified document 124 providing a significant insight into this tumultuous period. As the world grappled with the ideological chasm between capitalism and communism, Cuba emerged as a critical player, orchestrating a series of subversive activities across Latin America that would reverberate through history. The documents reveal a landscape fraught with peril, where covert operations were the norm, and the specter of violence loomed large, creating an atmosphere where trust was a rare commodity. At the heart of these revelations lies Fidel Castro, the embodiment of Cuban revolutionary fervor. The documents paint a portrait of a leader not merely content with consolidating power at home, but one who sought to export his revolutionary ideals beyond Cuba's shores. This ambition manifested in a multifaceted strategy designed to inspire, equip, and guide revolutionary movements across Latin America. Castro's vision was not limited to mere ideological propagation. It was a calculated effort to establish Cuba as a beacon of revolutionary hope for those disillusioned by their own governments. The files meticulously document Cuba's support for various insurgent groups, highlighting the significant role played by the Armed Forces of National Liberation, FARC, in Venezuela. This organization, forged through Cuban guidance, exemplified the sophisticated nature of the subversion efforts, combining guerrilla warfare tactics with a centralized command structure. The documents illustrate how Cuba's involvement was not simply theoretical. It was hands-on, with Cuban nationals actively participating in uprisings and unrest across the continent. The strategic importance of Venezuela, identified as a primary target for Cuban-backed revolution, underscores the geopolitical stakes at play. Cuba's operations were not just about armed conflict. They were also deeply intertwined with psychological warfare. The documents reveal a robust propaganda campaign emanating from Havana, designed to incite unrest and galvanize support for revolutionary causes. This was not a haphazard effort. It was a well-coordinated strategy involving the dissemination of revolutionary literature and the establishment of media outlets like Prensa Latina. The scale of this propaganda effort is striking, with reports detailing the interception of vast quantities of Cuban materials in countries like Panama and Costa Rica, illustrating the perceived threat these nations felt from Castro's ideological onslaught. Moreover, the documents shed light on the evolution of tactics employed by Cuban operatives, revealing a marked sophistication compared to earlier, less coordinated attempts at subversion. The influence of seasoned communist advisors from the Soviet bloc is evident, suggesting a deliberate effort to refine and enhance the efficacy of Cuban operations. This evolution reflects a broader trend in the Cold War, where the stakes were increasingly high and the methods of engagement became more complex and nuanced. Cuba's commitment to exporting guerrilla warfare expertise is particularly noteworthy. The documents detail the distribution of instructional materials that provided comprehensive guidance on insurgent tactics, sabotage, and even the production of explosives. The emphasis on self-sufficiency for guerrilla fighters, with explicit instructions to procure weapons and supplies from their own governments, reveals a calculated strategy aimed at fostering resilience and adaptability among revolutionary forces. This approach not only empowered local insurgents, but also complicated the response of governments facing these uprisings. Yet, amid the revelations of Cuban subversion, the documents raise unsettling questions about the broader implications of these covert operations, particularly concerning the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. While the files may not offer concrete evidence of a grand conspiracy, they do illuminate a complex web of connections and motivations that could suggest the involvement of intelligence agencies in shaping the events surrounding this pivotal moment in history. The intertwining of covert actions and political intrigue creates a narrative that is as compelling as it is troubling, hinting at the possibility of powerful forces working behind the scenes to influence the course of history. The enduring mysteries surrounding the JFK assassination are further complicated by these revelations. The documents serve as a stark reminder that the pursuit of political objectives can often overshadow the quest for truth and justice, The shadows of the past loom large, and the unanswered questions continue to fuel speculation and debate. The intricate dance of espionage, political maneuvering, and revolutionary fervor during the Cold War has left an indelible mark on the collective memory of nations, shaping not only the course of history, but also the narratives that persist to this day. As we sift through the implications of these newly declassified documents, it becomes clear that the Cold War was not merely a battle of ideologies, but a complex interplay of power, subversion, and the relentless pursuit of influence. The revelations within these files provide a window into a world where the stakes were extraordinarily high, and the consequences of failure could be catastrophic. The intricate mechanisms of Cuban subversion, the psychological warfare waged through propaganda, and the export of guerrilla tactics all underscore the lengths to which nations would go to secure their interests and advance their agendas. In reflecting upon this period, we are reminded of the delicate balance between power and vulnerability, and the ways in which historical narratives are constructed and deconstructed over time. The declassified documents not only illuminate the past, but also challenge us to question the narratives we accept as truth. The shadows of the Cold War continue to cast long over contemporary geopolitics, and the lessons learned from this era remain relevant as we navigate the complexities of modern international relations. The pursuit of understanding, truth, and justice in the face of political intrigue is an enduring challenge, one that echoes through the corridors of history and into our present.